Wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry Annie. Oh, it's Kris Avalon. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to a brand new episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. Yes, honey, I am just putting in the work this week. I'm your host, Kris Avalon, and basically this show is we just come on and we talk about all the latest trending hot topics. There's a lot to get to. It's a lot of tea to spill. I totally forgot because I was told that the Drag Race season 16 queens were going to be revealed, and then I was at the gym, and then I don't know, I saw something. I saw a clip of one of the queens had leaked. I'm like, wait a minute, they leaking video footage of Drag Race online? Then I remembered, I was like, let me look, let me do the research. Come to find out, today was the day that they're going to be dropping, the the entrance looks and all that other stuff. So all of that happened. They released the Meet the Queens. That came out earlier. I had watched that. I was trying to power through it while I was putting the show together. So I was trying to pay attention to everything that's going on. But I'm going to use a website that I'm going to be referencing throughout the show when we talk about the Drag Race girls. So besides Drag Race, we also got some tea on Diddy. Diddy has finally broken his silence after a fourth woman came out and accused him of assault. So we have that, and I'm also break down that assaultation that happened that came out this morning, why he is responding where he did on Instagram. Child, I got thoughts. Plus, we got tea on Britney Spears. Her father just recently got his leg amputated. I was going to talk about that, but I had a whole bunch of topics to talk about yesterday, so I was like, let me just save it in case more stuff comes out about it. So Britney is not interested in reconciling with her father. There was some tea about that. I'm going to bring that up because, over the weekend, if you were paying attention, she celebrated her 42nd birthday. Her mother and brother were with her. But like she said, she has no interest in trying to rekindle anything with Jamie. So then we also got some tea on Tamar Braxton out here embarrassing herself with that white man, white chocolate. I guess we'll call him that because, he a baby daddy with a bunch of damn kids, and you up in here messing with the Muppet. So we're gonna talk about that. Plus, we got tea on Jonathan Majors. This trial came out. It's day 3. The ex-girlfriend was cross-examined. I got some tea on that. Child, he out here trying to make her act like she Coretta Scott King. Y'all not gonna be out here trying to make white women act like black women. We're not gonna do that. Not on Beyonce and Blue Ivy's internet. So we're gonna talk about that. Also, we got tea on Jeezy and him fighting with Jeannie Mai. They going back and forth with all the drama and all that good stuff. So we got plenty of stuff to talk about regarding that. Oh, hey, Sailor Mermaid's in the building. How you doing? How you doing? So yeah, we definitely got a lot of stuff to spill. So in the meantime, if you could do me a solid and hit the like, subscribe. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button. If you are watching live and if you watch the playback later on, definitely do me a solid and put in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment. This is a live show, so I'll definitely be reading a lot of you guys' comments as we go on. And yeah, so that's basically it. All my social media stuff, if you haven't followed me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the good stuff, you could definitely look down in the description. I have put everything in there so that way you can easily pop open the link, click on it, like, do all that good stuff, follow me, and all of that. And so the people that I do see watching the live, how you doing? Wendy Williams ain't using it no more, so I might as well. Okay, so without further ado, because I don't want to keep you guys waiting, because we got a lot of topics. We got, like, besides the drag race, and that might take a while getting through each queen. We got like 6 other topics we got to get to, and I'm not trying to be up on here for 3 hours. Those days, those are long gone when we're doing 3-hour shows. That's why I've been trying to, that's why I've been producing and doing shows whenever some tea comes out, which it seems like every day this week. So that's why I'm on the line right now. So thank you all for watching, and let's get right into some things. So, let's get into this RuPaul's Drag Race, where if you haven't, we met the queens. If you haven't watched the Meet the Queens, I was like, what was the name of it again? Meet the Queens is in the damn headline. So yeah, so we met the queens, bunch of new queens. One of the things I have to say about this season that I like so far, based off of what I saw through the Meet the Queens and the entrance, the typical entrance where they come in, they say the little line, they make their little pose and all the other stuff. This seems like it's going to be a more character driven season. Like there's a lot of interesting personalities, a lot of strong personalities, a lot of entertaining girls. I also love the fact that we have 5 New York queens this season. We didn't have any last season. And I will say this, I just finished yesterday, I kid you not, because like I told y'all, I totally forgot that they were going to be doing the Meet the Queens this week. Yesterday, I literally finished the finale of season 15. I rewatched it because I saw it, I went to the red carpet and everything earlier in January, met the queens there, got to see the first episode where they split in half. And they're doing that again this season. But I will give y'all some insight into what they're actually going to be doing according to the report from Entertainment Weekly. And that's what I'm going to be referencing throughout this particular topic. Is that I'm going to be referencing Entertainment Weekly because they always come with the exclusive. They get first dibs on everything. The interviews they did say with the queens are going to come out next week. Because look, this is the time when we have to start getting the promo train running. And the season is 90 minutes. We're not having that drama that we had last year with Real Friends of WeHo, where everybody was pissed off that show came in. Because I remember when I first when I was there, and the whole red carpet situation, I was like, I didn't even know that there was a whole Real Friends of WeHo. Which I was like, why is Tantra calling them all here? Come to find out, they were doing a new reality show, which that was a whole drama within itself. And if y'all watched my show earlier this year when I kept bringing out the tea on that, you already know the outcome. So I don't think that show's coming. I think that show's pretty much been canceled. It would be nice if we had some more queer content on TV that didn't interfere with Drag Race, but we do need more queer competitions, some dating shows, some competition shows, be it a drag show or any other kind of thing. I don't want to say too much because I got some ideas and I don't want anybody trying to steal my shit. So I would love to see like an opportunity or something like we see more of an eclectic group of stuff. I know Out TV has a lot of stuff that they, produce on there, be it queer content. Some of it feels a little contrived and scripted, whereas, but anyway, we're not gonna get on a tangent about them. Let's stick with Drag Race. So, according to Entertainment Weekly, it says that the two-part premiere will introduce a new twist as two groups participate in maxi challenges divided into themes. So it's going to be MTV Spring Break and the Queen Choice Awards. Following the talent show performances, the queens will be tasked to rate a queen and rank each other's performances. This will determine the tops and bottoms of the challenge. And then also the new episodes will again be followed by regular episodes of Untucked. So I'm actually excited for this season. So like I said before, one of the things I'm pretty much excited about with this season is the fact that we have 5 New York queens, which I think the last time we had 5 queens from New York City on Drag Race was season 10 with Monet Exchange and Yu Hua and the rest of those girls. So it's exciting to see like we have some New York girls back in the fight. Last year we didn't really have any. The closest we had was Miss Mamas from the Garden State, which was Lux Noir London, who's from Jersey. And they our neighbors. And if you ain't in New York, you not in New York. It just is what it is. But she's, as was stated, from the Garden State. She's a Jersey girl, so she was repping the Jersey girls, and she made top 4. So good for her. But we ain't really had no New York queen. So I love the fact that they made up for it this season. So the New York girls, y'all better bring it with the talent, the charisma, unique. Well, I should say charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, as the show says. So what else? So basically it says that and the new season starts on January 5th. They did play a song in the background when they were introducing a lot of the queens, after they did the whole Meet the Queens introduction. And I was like, oh, is RuPaul releasing new music? Because every time a new damn season starts, she got a new album. Because these girls got to perform and lip sync to something, I guess, at the finale. So without further ado, let's mirror. I want to bring up the list of queens who will be competing on Drag Race. Give me a second. Oh no, I need to take this thing out so that way. Okay, because this is live. All right, so we got our first girl, which is a mandatory meeting. Now I have to say this. One of the things I love about drag queens is the fact that we have girls who have pundish type names like Brita Filter, or you had Hedda Lettuce. Like, I love names like that. I love a pun in a drag name because it's like old school drag. So I love a mandatory meeting. Now, she's from Los Angeles, California. Her Instagram is at a mandatory meeting. So it's AMANDITORI. And it says that calling all staff, there's a mandatory meeting to discuss this funny queen, ready to take it all to the top with her wit, wigs, and energetic moves. This talented wig stylist has done wigs for Drag Race queens Kerry and Sasha Colby, and has also done wigs for Beyonce's music video dancers. So she's a mix of camp and comedy. And yeah, so I'm definitely liking a mandatory meeting. I'm not familiar with her, but she seems like a good time. And the outfit is cute. Not necessarily something I would go for. It's kind of got that little punkish look. But yeah, I like her. Now the next one that I want to get to is Dawn. Let's scroll on down, scroll on down, scroll on down. Because as I'm doing this. Okay, so we have Dawn, who is our first New York girl. Now, she's from Brooklyn, New York. And it says the self described ethereal elf goddess of Brooklyn. Dawn is a fitting name for a queen who often stays up late enough to see the sunrise. Designing and constructing almost all of her eccentric looks, this kooky and artistic queen will always bring a story when she hits the stage. And she's hoping for a happy ending at Drag Race. Now, I have to say, I do like her look. Um, I like the whole elvish type of look. Like, she reminds me of that singer Melanie Martinez, who kind of does like this whole elvish type of look. So I actually like that look on her. I like, prosthetic ears and all the other stuff. And I like when drag queens literally become complete different characters. So I don't travel that far to Brooklyn anymore. Like, once I moved out of Brooklyn and went to Harlem, I haven't been to Brooklyn since. I think that happens a lot when you do when you borough hop. Once you left a certain borough, you ain't trying to go back. Because first of all, Brooklyn and Manhattan is like, it's too far of a gap. So it's got to be a real good reason for me to go down to Brooklyn. And I have to say, the Brooklyn drag scene, the girls out there definitely be bringing it. Like in Hell's Kitchen, they do more of like that fishy, competitive type of drag. But Brooklyn is more the type of drag scene out there. The girls are a lot more creative. The girls are a lot more like, for example, like if you watch Dragula, you have JK. So kind of like that drag where they do that, like that very alternative type of drag. So that's more fitting out in the Brooklyn scene versus, Manhattan, which is always about the, that whole fishy girl, competitive, jump split, that type of drag. So there's very much a lot of that in Brooklyn. So look, besides the fact that she is a New York queen, I got to root for my New York girls, regardless of the fact. I got to be. I'm sorry, but I was gonna say I'm blinded. I'm biased when it comes to my New York girls. Okay, so our next queen that we have is Geneva Carr, who is from Brownsville, Texas. Now, I remember the first time I heard I said, wait, she's from Brownsville, Brooklyn, but it's in Texas. And she's kind of giving me, like, when I look at her, she reminds me of, like, Mistress Isabel Brooks, because, Texas drag is very much like this. They do, like, the big hair, a lot of that curvy big girl, like, the makeup is always, sky high, fierce to the gods. And one of the things I think I forgot to mention this earlier, is the fact that what I love about this new season is the fact that we have a lot more Latina queens. So I understand, like, the United States is becoming more Latina driven, like the Latin culture is becoming like the majority of, the demographic that is taking over America. I know a lot of people ain't happy about that, but oh well. But I love the fact that we're getting a lot more Latina queens on the show, because I feel like a lot of times when it comes to Drag Race, y'all have not paid a lot of respect to a lot of the Latin girls. So that's always been an irritation for me. Like, I remember in the beginning seasons of Drag Race, whenever we had the Latin girls on, it always seemed like the producers were poking fun at the fact of how they speak. Oh, because their English wasn't their first language or whatever the case was. So it was always lost in translation, down from a lot of the earlier season queens. I didn't like how they were treated. So I love the fact that we have a lot more Latin queens on this season. Now it says that Viva Mexico, RuPaul's Drag Race first Mexican-born queen, Geneva witnessed her parents' struggles as they worked tirelessly to get her family safely to the United States in search of a better life. A dancing queen with a mischievous energy, she plans to be the first Mexican-born queen to win the U.S. Virgin's crown. Well, we shall see if that happens. I always say, look, if you're a drag queen or performer, whatever, aim high. Don't sell yourself short, Gert. Now, our next queen is Hershey Liqueur Jeté, who is the I actually love her. She's part of she's with Cornbread in them, and I want Cornbread to come back. I'm kind of upset that she's like, well, I think didn't she imply that she's not coming back to the show? But anyway, so Hershey Liqueur Jeté, who I actually knew, she was one of a couple of the girls because there's certain women queens that stood out to me that I knew that was going to be on the show. I mean, I knew pretty much all the queens that was going to be on the show, but the ones, Hershey is one of them because it was like I knew she was going to be on the show for a while now. But anyway, so she's from LA, and it says that she's part of the legendary House of Jeté. Hershey counts Drag Race star Cornbread. Cornbread is her sister. And she's a Take No Prisoners performer with a legion of LA area fans. Hershey is now ready to slay the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race. When not performing, Hershey is a very family oriented and together with her boyfriend is raising 2 children. And she does bring that up when you watch her on Meet the Queen. She talks about how she's got 2 kids that she's helping to raise and all this stuff. So I love that. The fact that, we got some family oriented queens on the show. Well, hopefully she don't try to be like the mother of the house when she's on it, kind of like how Sasha Colby was basically in a way the mother because she was, I guess, well, pretty much everybody know who Sasha Colby. Who Sasha Colby was. I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know what it was. I could not remember her damn name when you was about Jessica Wilde. Thank you. Said that she made a great comeback at All Stars Day because she was one of the girls who was in the early season. I believe if I'm not mistaken, season 2 queen. When she was on the show, English was not her strongest language. And then she found a way to redeem herself, and she made it all the way to, I believe she made it all the way to the end, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember that season because funnily enough, I was actually going to go back to watching All Stars, the last season, All Stars 8. I was actually going to go back and watch it because I haven't watched it in a while, and I'm like refreshing my memory because I know All Stars 9, they've been finished that, and I already know all the queens who's on that one, and they're going to be bringing that up, I'm sure, later on in 2024. So I'm actually, so Jessica Wilde had a great season during last season, and because she got better at what she was in regards of the drag and doing the TV show and stuff. Okay, so our next New York queen is Megami from Brooklyn, New York. Now, this self-proclaimed geek chic queen started doing drag as a cosplayer at conventions such as Comic-Con, and from there incorporated high fashion into her characterful. Is characterful a word? But look, if Entertainment Weekly wrote it, we just gonna go with it. Into her characterful designs, proudly claiming Nuyorican culture. Megami means goddess in Japanese, and this creative force now hopes to rule the drag race world. And I do love like a lot of the cosplay that drag queens do. Like one of them, Fifi O'Hara. Well, I know she don't go by Fifi no more, but Jeremy Carey. I did love the fact that when, we had Jeremy who was doing a lot of drag cosplay, and I love that. Like, one of the things, I don't think that drag should only just be like, okay, fishy drag and all the other stuff. And one of the things I have to say about this season that I'm liking too, we're not only just getting fishy drag, because to me it always seems like RuPaul's Drag Race always tries to push for the fishy drag instead of showing an eclectic type of drag that we have on the show. So I do love the fact that a lot of the girls, based on their personality and based on me watching them on Meet the Queens, that we're getting an eclectic side to them. All right, so let's get to our next queen, which is Maya Iman LePage, who is from Miami, Florida. Now it says, get down for your world to be turned upside down. An electrifying performer, Maya is known as the Queen of Flips. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that when we, if she ever has to lip sync for her life. That's because you can find Maya performing her thrilling flips and tricks in the sun on the sidewalks of South Beach. Maya's videos of her flipping onto cafe table. Well, I believe I actually have seen her. If you ever scroll on the Instagram and all the other social medias, you definitely if you've seen a lot of the Miami drag scene and stuff. I believe I have seen her perform actually and doing all the tricks that she does. But anyway, so back to the article. It says Maya's videos of her flipping onto cafe tables have caught fire on social media. Now she's ready to flip the competition on its head. So there you have it. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Maya has to bring because a lot of these girls have a lot to bring when they're in their own element, but it's different when you get on TV because Drag Race is like the Drag Olympics. It's not like real drag stuff. It's a TV show. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what these girls will bring, what she will bring to the show. Okay, so our next queen that we're going to get to is Mirage, who is from Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, it says a heady mixture of stripper heels and stripper moves. The legs of Las Vegas is here. Hailing from Sin City, this Native American and Mexican beauty towers in 7-inch heels and legs that go on for days. Already a showgirl sensation on the strip, this quirky queen is ready for the RuPaul's Drag Race crown. I believe Mirage was the one when she came in the workroom, and one of the other queens was like, "I hate her." So she got a little shade thrown at her, and she was like, I'm just going to ignore the girl." So yeah, when she made her little entrance, she had a little shade thrown on her way. We'll see how that all pans out as the season progresses, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of drama, which, quiet as it's kept, I'm actually looking forward to when, all that goes down. Okay, so now our next queen that we're going to get to is Morphine Love Dion, who is from Miami, Florida. Now it says, according to her bio, body, beauty, and mug, just what the doctor ordered. Morphine started out doing makeup tutorials on social media. Now she is the self-proclaimed it girl from Miami. Can this trained dancer, who has been featured in Maluma and Bad Bunny's music videos, cha-cha her way to the top of the competition? Well, we'll definitely see, because I'm sure, if it's a dance challenge, that's a lot of time when they expect the girls to step their pussy up and to be able to handle it. Now, we have seen many a time whenever there's a dance challenge, there's some girls that, "Oh yeah, I'm a dancer and I'm choreographer." And then they get up there and they do the little thing and then they end up in the bottom. So hopefully that won't happen with her. But we'll see. But I'm sure if she does end up in the bottom, lip syncing for her life, one of the things we do love about, when you are having to lip sync for your life, you're a real good dancer and you turn it out, we need those Anitra moments, because Anitra gave it last season. She been in the bottom, what was it, twice, and she turned it out. So hopefully we get, that with the girls this season. But, so far, like I said, my favorite lip sync was Anitra versus Marsha 3 times. That was everything, especially when she dove over her. It's fresh in my mind as I remembered. So I'm actually so I'm looking forward to Morphine. Hey girl. All right, so our next queen is Nymphia Wins, who was a cackle. Now I have to say, I thought, in my opinion, she gave the best entrance with the bananas. When she tripped over the banana, she had the sunglasses in her beehive. I guess we're gonna call it beehive, the Marge Simpson hair. And then she had the numerous the numerous shades in her head, and then she tripped over the banana peel, and then she opened her she opened her coat, and then had the prosthetic, a little banana penis strap on thing, and was shaking herself and wiggling it. That was the other. See, I like dirty, filthy. My sense of humor is filthy, so I live for stuff like that. So when she came into the workroom and did her little thing, because she was saved for last, I definitely hollered and cackled. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what she brings. She better not go home first. I'm gonna be mad. So when you bring that kind of silly, crazy, dumb, stupid humor, which we know RuPaul also likes, um, she better bring it this season. But anyway, so according to her bio, it says Banana Time. RuPaul's Drag Race first queen to hail from Taiwan, Nymphia she came to the United States to build on her massive fan base of banana believers, a term given to her fans thanks to her signature color yellow. The penchant for the absurd, inspired by Asian culture, art, and tradition. Let's hope she doesn't slip up in the competition. And I have to say, you know what? I love the fact that we got international queens coming on New York. Coming on New York, coming to New York, but also going on Drag Race. Because I love that. I've been seeing that a lot on Dragula, where we've been having a lot of international queens who have been, coming on the show to compete. So I love the fact that we're starting to see a lot of that. Like I think the closest we saw with Drag Race was All Stars when they brought on oh my god, what was her name? That one did she win last season? Why am I thinking Lemon? Oh my god, I drew a damn brain fart. The Canadian girl. How the hell did look? It's a lot on my brain. Okay, so Felix says they need to change things with the lip syncs. Doing a drop when the chorus starts is kind of predictable. It's like chorus equals split. Well, yeah, I do think like but I was like, how much can you do? There's only so much you could do, I guess, during those lip syncs. People expect a dip, they expect a jump split, they expect, the typical pop dip and spin type stuff. If it calls for it, I guess we're just going to have to keep expecting it. But yeah. So, but I definitely get what you mean with that. So, yeah, okay. So let's get to our next topic. Well, not next topic, our next queen, yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Nymphia brings to the show, because she is definitely my type of she's the type of queens that I usually go for. That's another New York queen, by the way. Because like I said, we have 5. Now the next one we have is Plain Jane, who is from Boston, Massachusetts, and it says, according to her bio, fancy your seatbelt because yes, that is how you spell the diva's name. Plain Jane is as glamorous as she is wickedly funny. Now Boston raised, but with Russian roots, no stranger to competition. Plain Jane was a competitive ballroom dancer as a child. Now she's focusing all her passion on becoming America's next drag superstar. And if you watch her Meet the Queen, she did throw a little shade at Katya, because she was like, oh, while, I actually do speak Russian, she is appropriating the culture. So I don't know if she was joking or she's being shady. It's hard to tell these days. But I just hope that y'all don't, go in and, the Katya fans don't go and start throwing tomatoes at this queen just because she said what she said in the Meet the Queens. Let people say what they say, and it's like, you know what? But I speak the language. I'm not out here pretending to be something that I'm not. But, good for you, girl. I'm glad that Plain Jane speaks the Russian language. But I do love, the type of aesthetic and everything that Katya brings up. That's my girl, though. Okay, so we got another New York queen that we have to get to, and that is Plasma, who is from New York, New York. Okay, so it says straight out of old Hollywood, and I do love her look because she does give me that whole old Hollywood, like very Jinx Monsoon, a lot of that look, or Marsha. She does like that old vintage type of drag, and I do love like the vintage drag from like the 50s, the pinup girls and all that other stuff. So it says straight out of old Hollywood, this vintage inspired femme fatale leaves all of the boys hot and bothered, raised listening to Julie Andrews, Judy Garland, and Barbara Streisand. She's probably a show queen. A show tune queen. Well, obviously, if she's in New York, right? Because we seem to be triple threats in that case. You got to be a theater queen. You got to be able to act. You got to be able to sing. You got to be able to dance. You got to do all those things. Now it says Plasma channel her love for divas into drag, and the rest is history. Can this queen's BFA in musical theater performance raise the roof at RuPaul's Drag Race? Only time will tell. And like I said, like that's the kind of drag that I've always expected, especially, me being born and raised in New York, because I've seen a lot of those drag queens that I grew up with long before there was a drag race on TV. Now, the first time I saw a drag race, which was season 1, was when I was in college studying film. That was when season 1 came out. And I did not have logo. A lot of people didn't have logo. So what I would do is, while I was supposed to be learning stuff in school, I'm supposed to be doing my classwork and editing and all this other stuff. I would sneak and watch on the school computer episodes of Drag Race. So that's how I got my fix, because we didn't have logo at the time. And then, as the shows and everything progressed and it became popular, then it became available in a lot of different areas so people could be able to watch it. But that's how I watched it in college. Okay, so just a little fun fact. All right, so let's get to Q, who is, not Q from Star Trek, but Q. And I love the fact that, what, she keeps it simple with the name, the letter Q, chair. Okay, so now she's from Kansas City, Missouri. Now it says the only letter of the alphabet you ever need worry about. This talented diva is a theater queen who specializes in the costuming aspect of drag. She makes all of her own looks, plus many commissioned costumes for prior Drag Race stars. Q is ready to go all the way in this competition, one design challenge after the next. And I really do hope that they incorporate more design challenges into the show, because that's, I feel like we don't get enough of those. I love to see like the queens, create. Look, the show is a cross between Project Runway and what was it, an America's Next Top Model. So I don't know why you don't incorporate more of the design challenges. Now, sidebar, I am watching that other show that I've been seeing on YouTube, but I actually saw it on Facebook. Of They would pick two girls from Drag Race and Monet Exchanges hosting it, and they would actually do like sewing challenges and stuff and design, you know, design looks for the twin models to wear. And I actually like that show. I would love to see that actually become a series where you just pick two designer queens and have them design looks and go head to head, and whoever wins, whatever happens, happens. I do love that show. So I hope that that becomes a thing. Like, I want to see more design challenges from the queens. And I don't understand how 16, I'll even go back. We'll stick with 15. I don't know 16 yet because we haven't seen the show. But I don't understand how in 15, 16 seasons, girls still haven't like taken a goddamn sewing class. Like, that to me is baffling. How, I mean, it's a requirement in the show. So how y'all don't know how to sew something? I'm not saying you gotta come in and give us, a Marquesa gown. Is that even appropriate to say, because you know who she used to be married to? Harvey Weinstein. You know, I'm not saying that you gotta literally come out and give us full on Versace, but if you could actually know how to stitch a piece of fabric together and throw a bow on it to make it at least look, acceptable or passable, like, I don't think that's a bad thing. Okay, so I'm done with my rant. Now let's get to our. I was about to say our final queen. We got two more queens to go. One of these queens I actually knew about. She's another one I actually know about because a friend of mine, David Lab, did her audition tape. Safira Cristal, who is another one I'm rooting for. Now, she's not a New York queen, but because my friend did her, I'm biased because of my friends. Because my friend did her audition tape, which got her on the show. He's done a lot of audition tape. He did Miss Crackers too. He's done a lot of the queens. He is somebody you should, I'm gonna give him some work. If you ever are a drag queen, you need somebody to put y'all tape together and really make y'all look good for the producers and stuff, and RuPaul and I was like Mama Ru. Definitely hit up my friend David Laugh. But anyway, so she's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Even though she's from Philly, like I said, I'm a root for her because my friend did her tape. Now, Philadelphia's crown jewel, Safira, is a serious musician with a 6-octave vocal range. Come on, Mariah. Well, Mariah was 5, but she's 6. That means she could sing the house down boots. So I'm hoping, let me finish and then I'll give my opinion. This powerhouse performer studied musical composition, vocal performance, and opera, and in drag, she can be found hosting, singing, dancing, and performing comedy. Is there anything this diva can't do? Now, what I'm hoping with this is I need Safira to make it all the way to the damn end, simply because I would love to see how she turns it out in the finale, where they have to, do the typical challenge where, the final 4 or whatever. I don't know if they still, Ru always said, oh, we're only going to have 3 queens, but it always ends up with some damn 4. Just stick to what it is and stop trying to trick people. But anyway, so what I'm hoping is that she makes it all the way to the end, just because I would love to see her do a musical challenge where she's on a RuPaul song or just a regular musical. Like, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Safira brings to that, because I would like to see like the girls who are talented in that space. If you're a good dancer, a good singer, if you're a triple threat in that sort of way, I would love to see how those girls shine in those challenges, because I do love the musicals. Particularly this one last year, there was the best musical, in my opinion, that I've seen in a long time. Wig Loose. Wiggle loose. I said wiggle loose. I don't know why. Well, Lucy was on that season. And she wound up in the bottom for that challenge. Because she wanted that part. Should have gave it deluxe. But anyway, I do love the fact that that was my favorite musical. So I'm actually looking forward to what if they go into a musical this season. Y'all better be able to top Wig Loose, because Wig Loose is definitely up there in regards of like favorite musicals. Okay, so now our final queen, because we went on for third. Look, It's live. It's a regular show. It's a lot of girls we got to get to. Is Tsunami Muse. She is our final girl who is, she is from the House of Muse. Yes, she is the drag daughter of Candy. Now, the self-described knockoff Naomi Campbell is the supermodel of the season. Now, originally from Cologne, Panama, Tsunami moved to New York City where drag race superstar Candy Muse became her drag mother. Signed with a modeling agency in New York, time will tell if this leggy beauty can strut her way to the top. So, we love our Naomi Campbell model queens. We love those girls when y'all come out and y'all pump down the runway. I love the Nitra's Walk last season. I loved, was another one. I loved, and then last season I loved Anitra's Walk. I always love a glamorous pump down a runway. That has always been kind of like my weakness when it comes to the queens. When it comes to that, oh my God, why I was stalling because I was trying to remember another girl remember the season, which one was it, where she did the Natalie Cole, This Will Be an Everlasting Love. What was her name? I loved her walk too. When she was on, the show. So I say all that to say, I'm definitely excited for this season of Drag Race. I'm really hoping that these girls bring it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, what the girls bring. Oh, Dita Ritz, thank you. I knew somebody was going to be in here. No, and yes, I was talking about Jimbo. I loved the fact that, Jimbo deserved the season that she won. And I feel like because of she was done dirty in her other seasons, that was probably they set that shit up for her to win. So her, the season that she was on. So that was like I think the last time that we've seen them bring a girl like a Jimbo on an American type of show to compete, which I would love to see more of because y'all could be paying the girls over in the UK. And I heard that they don't pay the girls in France either. So yes, so I'm definitely looking forward to RuPaul's Drag Race, which comes out in January. I know I'm kind of jealous because, and I didn't tell him this, because my friend David, I went with him last year when, for season 15, he is bringing his drag son for season 16. I know I can't be at every one, but he is bringing his drag son to come and do the whole red carpet thing that they did like last year, this year. I wish I could go, but I can't. So yes, I'm definitely looking forward to the new season and what it is that they're going to bring. They say it's going to be a lot of twists and turns, so y'all bitches better bring it. Okay, all right. So now let's move on and get to our next topic, which is hold on, because I'm sitting here looking at all the. Oh yeah, let me pull up some of these. So basically said Dita Ritz, that's Felix, and then Jimbo. I should always bring up. Wait, what was I talking about with season 4? I totally forgot. Oh, that was probably the one I was talking about before. But anyway, so let's get to our next topic and let's talk about Diddy because he is finally speaking out about these allegations of assault. So this morning, a fourth woman filed a lawsuit basically claiming that Diddy and 2 other men gang raped her in a studio back in 2003 when she was just 17. He has come out and released a statement denying the allegations. Now, I should say in the statement, Diddy vowed to fight for his name and his family. The statement, by the way, does not mention the Cassie statement settlement or the lawsuit she had filed against him. It also makes no mention of the fact he temporarily stepped down as chairman of Revolt. Now, his statement is, I'm going to pull it up for y'all so that way y'all can read it along with the class. I should probably pull that up earlier, but that was like a last minute decision that I decided on. Is that it? Oh no, here it is. I got it. All right. So in the words of Barbara Streisand, he said, enough is enough. No, I'm just playing. He said, enough is enough. For the last couple, and didn't Donna Summer do that song too? But anyway, so he said, for the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Says sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I'm tired. You know how he always says clear, like he got spit stuck in his throat. I was trying to say like him. He said, I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Sean Diddy come. Oh, he not brother love today? And the other time you brother love, but he not brother love today. Okay, sir. Now, do y'all believe Diddy? Here's my door. I ain't buying it. But if you said that that's what happened, that's what happened. Now, for those of you who have not heard the latest allegations, here's what had happened. And this is according to People magazine. It said in a lawsuit filed in New York on Wednesday, a woman who goes by Jane Doe accused Combs, former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harvey Pierre, and a third individual labeled as third assailant of sex trafficking and gang rape when she was 17. Combs, who is now 54, has denied the allegations. Now, in the filing obtained by People, Jane Doe claims that Pierre approached her at a lounge in Michigan and convinced her to take a private jet with him and third assailant to Combs' recording studio in New York City. Once she arrived, she alleged she was given drugs and alcohol before being viciously gang raped one after the other. As alleged in the complaint, defendants preyed on a vulnerable high school teenager as part of a sex trafficking scheme that involved plying her with drugs and alcohol and transporting her by private jet to New York City, where she was gang raped by 3 individual defendants at Mr. Combs' studio. Jane Doe's lawyer, Douglas H. Wigdor, said in a statement, "The depravity of these abhorrent acts have, not surprisingly, scarred our client for life." As I stated before, Diddy denied the allegations. I already read y'all the thing. I don't need to go and say it again. Now, Jane Doe, as I stated earlier, is the 4th person to accuse Combs of sexual assault in the past several weeks. Now, in November, Combs was accused of sexual assault by a third woman in a lawsuit filed in New York County Supreme Court. Now, in documents obtained by People, Jane Doe alleged that Combs and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns assaulting her and a friend in New York City more than 30 years ago. Yeah, we talked about that a couple of episodes ago. Now, the allegation arrived November 23rd, the same day Diddy was named in another lawsuit accusing him of SA in a college student in 1991, and days after Combs settled a different lawsuit accusing him of rape and abuse, all litigation filed under the Adult Supervisors Act, which expired on November 24th, saying these are fabricated claims, falsely alleging misconduct from over 30 years ago and filed at the last minute. Excuse me, this is nothing but a money grab. Because of Mr. Combs' fame and success, he is an easy target for anonymous accusers who lie without conscience or consequence for financial benefit. And this is what a spokesperson for Combs wrote in a statement to People. They added by saying the New York legislature surely did not intend or expect the Adult Survivors Act to be exploited by scammers. The public should be skeptical and not rush to accept these bogus allegations. Well, he's denying the allegations, as I said before. Here's what I'll say on this. I don't necessarily know if this is true or that's what the court is for. She could take her lawsuit, take it to court. They figure it out. The lawyers do their job and do what needs to be done in regards of sorting out whatever, and we'll see if he settles. I do it like I stand 10 toes down, and I believe everything he did to Cassie that she put in that damn lawsuit. So I totally believe everything that she says in regards to that. Now, all these other women, because I always said, the minute Cassie comes out and says what she says happened to her, there's going to be this domino effect where a lot of people are going to be coming out and saying stuff. Now, my thing is this. Diddy, you are not the only one that was named in this lawsuit. Harvey Pierre's name came up and another person that we don't know. Also, the prior incident, the prior lawsuit, we had Diddy's name brought up and Aaron Hall. People are looking at Aaron Hall as he's most likely guilty because of things he said in interviews. I don't know what it is about some of y'all ninjas, but y'all love going on Vlad TV and spraying that white man with y'all tea, and then end up putting y'all ass up for court opinions, in jail, and all that other stuff. The same thing with the whole Tupac situation. Y'all go on that man's show and y'all tell all y'all business, and you wonder why your ass locked up. So, everybody can be lying. So that's why I just said, like, when it comes down to the courts, let the courts handle what they're gonna handle, and we'll see what happens. Now, Diddy, you ain't innocent in all this. I've always referred to him as a devil. Capricorn was not the only one. His former assistant was the one that called him the devil. I've always referred to Diddy as Satan incarnate. Like, there's nothing about that man that I've looked at where I've said, I've aspired to want to be him. He is innocent. That man has done some mean fuck shit to a lot of people that I've heard about for 3 decades in this business. So, I'm not sitting there buying what this man is selling, but like I said, we're going to let the courts deal with it and see what transpires from that situation. But Diddy, people don't call you, people like me don't call you the devil for no reason. So Sailor Mermaid said, lies, lies, boy, lies. That's all men like him like to do. Yeah, it's like everybody, that's like I said, everybody cannot be lying about, this whole situation. Like, you are not look, in the words of Britney Spears, you ain't that damn innocent. So maybe there are some people that's coming out trying to get a money grab. Say for devil's advocate, that is actually what's going on here. Um, just prove it. But also, you're not innocent in all of this. So let's not try to act like, you know, you innocent and shit. Okay. Now, speaking of not that innocent, because we talked about Britney, it's funny how that segue happened. Let's get into some Britney Spears tea. So, like I stated earlier in the show, Britney did spend, which surprised me, she spent her 42nd birthday with her mother, Lynn, and her brother, Brian. So apparently they worked things out because I remember she had threw some shade at her brother, Brian, on social media. And then at one point earlier this year, I believe she made up with her mother, and then they were fighting again, but now it seems like all is well in the Spears household, even if she don't live with them. But I should probably say in the Spears camp. Not in Spears' household, because that would make it seem like Britney back home living with her mother. But all seems well in the Spears camp. Not necessarily with her father. Because they were trying to say, like, oh, Britney has been saying that she wants to reconcile with her father. That's according to insiders. But she's saying, I don't know who told y'all that, but that ain't the tea. So now, according to TMZ, they reported on Tuesday that sources said Britney, who was 42, has said she misses Jamie, who's 71, and even contemplated sending him money at times to help out. Now, the Grammy winner and her father have been unable to settle their disagreements over the alleged mismanagement of her finances amid her conservatorship in court, so the latter claim in particular seems unlikely. Jamie should also not be strapped for cash because last time I checked, didn't they say, and didn't you reveal in the book as well in court filings that he paid himself $6 million over the 13 years for his role as conservator, and that other chick that made it her, sole ability to get her hooves, her Satan hooves in Britney money. And not only that, she tried to get Amanda Bynes, she tried to get Lindsay Lohan. Like, she was going after a lot of these troubled, stars through their parents. And so, you know, but that's the end of there. Let's get to this other. So now, Britney did write in her best-selling memoir, "The Woman in Me," that she resented the fact her father appeared to see her as put on the earth for no other reason than to help their cash flow. According to reports, they're saying that the overprotective singer, for her part, will never forgive him for the abuses and trauma he caused. Now, aside from the money disputes, Britney also called out Jamie in her book for repeatedly telling her she looked fat and allegedly limiting her food intake to chicken and canned vegetables for 2 years. Child, I remember when I was in Barbizon, and that was, the thing I had to eat, brown rice and vegetables. Let's say it's a model joke. But she also slammed her horrible father for forcing her in rehab in 2014 with crack and heroin addicts. And in one passage, Britney compared Jamie to a cult leader, claiming her family began to treat her at one point as if she were beholden to him. Now, prior to the book's release on October 24th, the "Oops, I Did It Again" singer would also air her grievances online. Now, in November 2022, Britney wrote on Instagram that she wanted to send a special happy FU to Jamie because not being part of his slave treatment program had changed her life. The singer broke her silence on her father's alleged abuse at a bombshell court testimony in 2021 of June that ultimately helped kickstart the termination of her conservatorship. And then, of course, the whole Free Britney movement and all that other stuff. Now, they did mention, because I thought about writing an article on it, but I was like, no, if any more stuff comes out regarding what had happened to him, then I'll talk about it. But they revealed yesterday, I saw all over social media that Jamie had his leg amputated last month after a knee replacement caused him to get a terrible infection. He was also, seriously ill and has been in and out of the hospitals, including a facility for infectious disease patients. Now, my thing is this: if you helped yourself to $6 million, then you have the wherewithal and the money, the financial wherewithal, to be able to support yourself. You do not need Britney's money, because they did say in the article also that Britney had considered giving her father money. And I'm sitting there like, why would you need to give a man money that helped himself to your money while you had no control over it? And my thing is this: regardless of how somebody is, um y'all should be able to they should be able to spend their money how they see fit. Same thing I said about Wendy Williams. Like, how with all the stuff that's going on with her and her whole mental situation and drinking, herself into a stupor, withering away from all the alcohol consumption allegedly. I said that, Wendy should be able to spend her money how she wants to spend it. Same thing with Britney. If she want to sit up there and spend every last dime until she broke, and she ain't got no choice but to do another damn residency, which a lot of people apparently want her to do, a residency, a tour. I remember Robert was telling me something. I need to look further into this, but he said that she has one more album left on her contract, and if she don't fulfill that contract, she gonna have to pay the label money. So, Britney, you better get back to doing what you do. You better get back to making music or something. Look, I don't care if you got a fake through the emotions like you did when you was under the conservatorship and you was hiding Cooter Brown, where they had you on stage with just enough drugs in your system where you could function. You should be able to put an album or something together. I'm not talking about that cut and paste bullshit that Will I Am did, but that horrible ass single y'all dropped a couple of months ago. We don't need none of that. What I would like is a proper dance record from Britney. Give us some of that urban Britney, the blackout era, but also give us some Be Against the Music. Excuse me, and the Till the World Ends. Like I need some of that EDM, like mix it up. Kind of do like a greatest hits sonically. Kind of like with Madonna going through her current era, or 4 decades, and telling her story through music. Maybe Britney can give us that. Okay, so Felix says, I noticed in the documentary she did on MTV a while back, I think it was when she was recording the Circus album, that she was showing tension with her father. I may need to watch that because I wasn't really watching a lot of those documentaries and stuff. I should have probably been watching a lot of it. So I don't know. I think life was happening. A lot of stuff was going on. So I didn't have the opportunity to watch those things. But well, damn, you're gonna have me revisit that stuff so I can be paying close attention to the tension and things that was going on. I had some factor earlier. That must be why I'm feeling a little gassy. Because I've been like coughing and burping. But I think also this weather change, like it was a little chilly out today, but then it also was warmer yesterday. This weather change has been happening in New York. It's making me feel weird. All right, so let's get into our next topic, which is Tamar Braxton and J.R. Robinson. Child, these two are a goddamn mess. This is a couple that I want y'all to take my ass out the goddamn group chat. I did not ask to be in the group chat, but yeah, y'all keep pulling my ass in it. So, Tamar Braxton's ex, who she met on the reality dating series Queen's Court, has revealed that he and the singer are back together 2 months after calling off their engagement. Now, after calling it quits in October, the couple has spun the block and their love story is back on track. On Monday, December 4th, Robinson took to Instagram in a lengthy message to announce that the Love and War. That's BET. That I got this from. It's like, child, love and war, now love is war. But anyway, they're back together, and it said the post included sweet photos of the duo. One featured them hugging. Actually, let me bring up the picture so that way y'all can see it, and then I will continue with this story. All right, so there it is. I'm not reading that whole long ass post. We're just going to continue doing what we do. You could go over to wherever that site it says at the top. What is this? Rare Breed Nola? Kind of place is that? I guess that's the place they was at. But anyway, it says, how deep is your love? How deep is the connection that God provide the way for? It goes into a whole thing about that. And then Robinson explained he had to fight hard to push back the hurt and pass my own ego. I'm rolling my eyes at that because God kept bringing me back to how much I love at Tamar Braxton. I don't know if I necessarily believe that because didn't at one point he went on social media and said and embarrassed her and was like, I'm the one that broke it off with Tamar. Like he didn't allude to anything that was going on. Then I remember she said, I think her car got broken into and she was going through some things. And then all of a sudden, what was it? Maybe 2 weeks ago, we saw Tommy, that troubled hot mess, the one that gets her ass beat repeatedly on baddies. She wound up at some game or whatever with him and she put him on camera, and I think that probably stirred something up in Tamar because I don't think Tamar and Tommy Lee get along. And so then all of a sudden, he's saying his thing, and then she's going on live with music playing in the background, and she's talking about how she left him and spewing all her relationship woes on social media, which I just don't understand. A lot of y'all out here putting all y'all tea in the street, and then when y'all get back together, because it's like typical relationship stuff. It's like, We be rooting for you. The man did you wrong. The man out here embarrassing you. The friends, we say John Q. Public, since you all assert us into the T. We coming to your defense. We trying to protect, we trying to come and help you, protect you, whatever. And then only for you to spin the block again and get back with this man. And now we out here looking like Boo Boo the Fool. And then y'all want to go and say, we need privacy. We need time to work things out. But bitch, y'all the ones that put y'all tea all over social media. Now when it get to a specific situation, now you want to ask for privacy. Now you don't want to have everybody all up in you. No, I'm sorry. You done pulled me in this soap opera. I want to see how it ends. That's how I feel when it comes to a lot of y'all that be putting y'all relationships on social media. It's like if y'all kept that shit under wraps, we wouldn't have to care enough. But I feel like a lot of y'all are addicted to the endorphins, where y'all love the attention that y'all get. That drug, that endorphin fix, that is something that is hard to explain, especially when you got an ego or you someone who loves that, the roar of the crowd, the accolades and all that other stuff. It's a big ego boost, and it's like that shot of adrenaline. It definitely is something that cannot be explained. It's better than drugs, child. Trust and believe. So he talking about how he had to fight hard. Now she took him back, and I don't know. If y'all gonna work it out, then work it out. It's kind of like the whole thing with Keke Palmer and Darius. Like the other day, we was talking about how she want to, the whole restraining order. You had your mother on social media cussing this man out when she talking about stuff. Then we heard the leaked phone call, and then you sent him and talking about you need a restraining order because this man is violent. He looked like he was beating your ass. You submitted the freaking security footage of this man when it looked like he was assaulting you. And then we all sitting there hating this. We sitting over here hating on him and hating on the brother Saronis, who Darius trying to be an actor, which at this point, because we see all this, he ain't never gonna get a job in Hollywood. Speaking of one, we're gonna talk about Jonathan Majors and if this whole thing will affect him and how I feel about the whole, celebrities when they do things in the privacy of their own home. Does it or should it affect their professional life? Meaning, because if I'm fighting with my girlfriend, whatever the case is, or my wife, should that prevent me from getting work? But quiet as it's kept, nobody knows who the fuck Darius Jackson was until he got with Keke. So that's here nor there. So I guess that argument doesn't go for him. But it does ask this question with like Tamar and this man. It's like, what are y'all doing? If y'all want to work this thing out, work it out. But can y'all not do it? Or y'all or is it that they're trying to get a reality show out of the situation? That's what I want to know. Is this a whole thing where y'all trying to find a way to get a reality show? Is she still in Atlanta? Can y'all get her on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because the only show that's really giving it over on Bravo right now is Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine is definitely giving me my life right now. Can I tell you that episode where they had the whole funeral thing with Phaedra? Phaedra, I will have to say this. Phaedra is really good at creating some whole big dramatic thing for a scene, especially when she had the guy come with the suitcase and the damn church fan inviting them to some funeral thing. I forget what it was called. And then the coffin comes in, the guy doing a little march with the high leg like he in fucking New Orleans. And then all of a sudden they open up the coffin. I was like, Quad in that damn coffin. And lo and behold, Quad in the coffin. And she come out and you trying to reconcile with the woman. I said, y'all are so goddamn dramatic with all this stuff, but it was a cackle. I said, leave it to a bunch of black women from the South that really know how to give a full-on show, extravaganza, drama. If y'all not watching this season of Married to Medicine, y'all definitely need to be watching it. Because the women on there are definitely bringing it better than what we got from the past 3 seasons of Atlanta Housewives, because them women over there are dry. But anyway, so that's the end of my rant. So, but anyway, so maybe what they should do is get Tamar on there because she has a flair for the dramatic. I think she likes all this drama. So get her on one of them shows. Get her over on the Real Housewives and have her going back and forth with them ladies and stuff on there because you clearly love the BS and you clearly love the drama and you love all this extra BS that's going on with that. So I know a lot of people, particularly, I don't know. I mean, is it fair for them to be like, you just let this white man embarrass you and all this other stuff? But what if it was somebody black? I mean, does it make a difference? I mean, I'm not trying to not act naive in the situation, but it just seems like more people are pressed over the fact that she's with this white guy who's playing with her, and it seems like he's playing manipulative mind games with her. And women, no shade. But when it comes to relationships, a lot of y'all get emotional and a lot of y'all put emotion in it. Men were really good at like separating the emotion thing. Well, I'll say for me, I am. Like, I'm definitely good at separating emotions from when it comes to relationships and stuff, where I could just cut that shit off at the drop of a hat, which is probably why I don't do relationships because they be too much sometimes. But anyway, so I say all that to say, good luck to you, Tamar. I'll definitely be keeping track of this relationship since you want to continue to pull us into it. And you can't get mad over the people that have an opinion, especially like a lot of us public pundits. If you put y'all shit out there in public, y'all cannot be mad over the fact of how we react to the shenanigans. Y'all just can't. Because and you being in media, you should know, because it ain't just, you don't just sing and do reality TV. You're also on Dish Nation, whatever. I guess you got free time. She go over there and she does Dish Nation. So you understand how this space works. So let's not try to act brand new and all of a sudden you want to pick fights with people who are speaking their opinion on a relationship you decide to spray all over social media for attention and entertainment. Okay, now speaking of messy relationships and people in Hollywood, let's get and talk about this whole Jonathan Majors case. Now, I was kind of like just sitting back and not really getting too into the whole Jonathan Majors case on some of the stuff. Like I've been trying to follow, I've been following it from afar, but because all this other stuff that was coming out, I was like, oh no, we definitely got to talk about it today. Especially how the word on the curb was that he tried to have his white girlfriend. So yeah, maybe then it does play into the whole big difference when you're in interracial relationships first versus being in a relationship with someone who is a black male with a black woman. Talking about he was trying to get the white woman to act like Coretta Scott King in a relationship. Child, if I don't, or maybe what they meant by the whole Coretta Scott King thing, because when I read y'all the whole thing of what had happened during the night when they were in the car, because today was the day of the ex-girlfriend had to go on the stand and spill her stuff on what happened that day. With the whole big incident where they had the fight in the cab, and then she got out, and then he wound up getting arrested and that sort of thing. I think in the sense of Coretta Scott King, because I know a lot of people don't want to bring this up, but word on the street was that Martin Luther King was not only faithful to his wife, that he was going around laying low and spreading it wild with a lot of women, and that was because, he had a lot of popularity. He was, he was very successful and very famous in a lot of ways, and he was out here laying alone and spreading it wide with multiple women. And I think that's probably maybe that's what he meant about Coretta Scott King. I think people just looking at it from the black woman situation. But I think maybe what it is that he wanted that white woman to let him be around sleeping with other women while they was in a relationship. Maybe if he was gay, that would work. But when you with women, a lot of women ain't all for that whole open relationship thing. There's very few type of women that would be into that. But for the most part, in the gay community, we're big into the whole open relationship thing. I know there's some men out here, I'm not going to say all of them, that want the monogamy thing. I have friends who are who are strictly into monogamy, which is them and that person that they're with. They don't want no thirds. They don't want no thruples, no 3 ways of 4Gs. They don't want none of that. They want one-on-one. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Me personally, I got to do the open relationship. I can be fucking the same person for 30 damn years. Like that ass gets stale. There's no shade, I'm just saying. So basically, according to the Hollywood Reporter, which I'm pulling this article from, it says the charges stem from an alleged domestic violence incident on March 25th, 2023, but they responded to a 911 call. Now, we don't need to get into the whole thing about what happened with them. Let's get to the tea. But I should say that he is facing 4 remaining charges of misdemeanor assault, aggravated harassment, and harassment. 4 of the previous 8 charges were dismissed and merged into 1 count of assault ahead of opening statements Monday due to the nature of the injuries. His attorney, Priya Chowdhury, has denied all wrongdoing on his behalf, and he has pleaded not guilty to the charges. So I wanted to let y'all know what charges he has standing before we get to the story. So it says in the opening statements, Assistant District Attorney Michael Perez alleged a pattern of behavior by Majors against the woman who has since been identified as his then romantic partner, Grace Jabari. I have a cousin named Jabari, by the way, saying that he committed domestic violence against her on March 25th, but had engaged in a cool and manipulative pattern of psychological abuse leading up to the incident. The two met on the set of Ant-Man in 2021, Perez said, and had a honeymoon period before the defendant's true self emerged, he alleged. This included snapping at her, controlling and manipulating her, withholding affection, and threatening suicide in control of her actions. Well, I heard Jonathan Majors is a Virgo, so that do sound about right. Like, we do get in those ways about us when we, us Virgo men, we could be, we got to flip. Look, I'm openly admitting it. that there are times when we get pissed, we can be very cold and snap at people, very manipulative in certain situations, withholding affection. Because Virgos, we're not very affectionate people. We'll be affectionate when we need to be, but there's times like, bitch, don't touch me. And this in general, just saying. So there might be some truth to that. But also it said that they met on the set of Amy. I was like, in 2021, goddamn, how long ago did they film that movie? But then again, it does take a long period of time to shoot a movie. Like when it comes to movies, a lot of times it takes about 2 or 3 years. We had the pandemic, there were reshoots. You have to also do post with the special effects, which special effects in that movie was god awful. And don't even get me started on Ant-Man and the Wasp. I hated that freaking movie. That movie was god awful. I think after 20 minutes I checked out. But that's not Jonathan Majors' fault. He actually was good in the role of Kang. I will say that. I enjoyed his part in the film. I didn't see him in Loki season 2. I haven't watched that yet. Or nor do I plan on it because I didn't even watch season 1. I just don't care enough to want to watch a Loki show. I don't. Like, to me, Loki always seemed to me like a character within a franchise, like an ensemble cast. I never looked at him as being like a solo act. But if that's what Disney wanted to do, that's on them. And quiet as it's kept, I heard the ratings for Loki season 2 wasn't all that great. So there may be some truth to what I'm saying in regards to like people don't look at Loki. They find him entertaining, but he's not a lead character. Thor is, but not Loki. But anyway, so it says that one of those incidences in September 2022, Perez alleged that Jabari went out 2 drinks with a friend and then took her back to their shared home, which angered Majors, who threw belongings and yelled. Jabari later recorded Majors saying things to her, which included that she needs to live up to the standards of Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama, and I am a great man. Okay, so I guess I will take that back. Maybe it wasn't the whole thing about the affair situation he wanted to act. He wanted her to act like a demure black woman. Now, here's the thing. When you actually date a black woman and fuck one, then you can go and tell a woman to be, well, not even, you shouldn't even tell anybody to act more like a damn Michelle Obama. Or who are you to tell anybody how they should act? You should have known what you got with when you got with them. That's like with her. What if she would have said, well, your ass didn't act like Barack? What was you gonna do, smack her? Because that's what Jonathan Majors gives me. Like, she would have gave him lip back and be like, well, maybe you need to act like Barack, or maybe you need to act like some damn Samuel L. Jackson. How about that? Then he was like, oh no, bitch, who you talking to? Black. And then there would have been a whole tussle. Then she could have filed another lawsuit. So you can't be going around telling people that. And especially like if she ain't black. Like if you want to be with a black woman, then you should have. Which he is now. And I'm sorry, but I am not buying this relationship with him and Megan Good. I'm not buying that relationship. I don't understand the point of it. To me, it's just like, girl, are you looking for a reason to like? Do you need clout? Is that why you're with him? I mean, look, I just heard today that Harlem has been renewed for a new season, so you got a job. Like, it's not like you got to fight. Like you're a struggling actress. You got another season of that show Harlem coming that was greenlit by Amazon. So you got a job. You getting a coin. You don't need a Jonathan Majors to make it to keep yourself relevant. So I do not understand the reason why Megan Good is with Jonathan Majors, because right after this whole situation happened where this white woman is trying to take him down and ruin his career, allegedly, from all the allegations that have come out in this court case and all the things we've been hearing, now all of a sudden you want to run back to your people and please, sir, I need y'all to help me and let me back in the good graces of the black people. Like, we're not doing that, sir. Stay your ass over there. And then I'm seeing him in court with a damn Bible and got the damn hat on his head like he a member of the Black Panthers. I'm like, child, if y'all know, like, who told you to wear all that bullshit and thinking like we buying into the foolishness? It just seems like very PR, very fake. It feels no different than the situation. Remember when it was like there was an incident where there was a bunch of, I think it was like 2 girls fighting or a girl got jumped or something. All of a sudden he came out of nowhere and turned into Black Superman and was trying to break up the fight. It just feels very performative to me. And it's just like, I know actors are paid to pretend to be people they not, but in this situation, I need your ass to be real and keep it real. And I think that a lot of these little shenanigans and things that we've been seeing, particularly how you've been showing up in court, the thing with Megan Good, the incident with the breaking up the fight, it just feels fake and not authentic. And I think a lot of people just kind of side-eyeing Jonathan Majors in this whole thing. So it said, did I finish? Oh, so basically it said that what happened in the thing, they said that Mavis and Jabari were in the car, were in the car coming, I think meant coming home because they were coming home from dinner in Brooklyn, and she observed a text message on Mater's phone stating, "Wish I was kissing you right now," from a woman named Cleopatra. Jabari allegedly grabbed the phone, and Mater's then pried her finger from the phone. The complaint was that he grabbed her arm and right hand, twisted her forearm, and then struck her right ear. When she tried to leave the car, he allegedly picked her up and threw her back inside like a football. It said Perez says that Jabari then ran into three strangers on the street and began talking to them before re-entering, the car with Majors and grabbing his coat to stop him from leaving. Majors left and made arrangements to stay at a hotel while Jabari was inviting to go back to the club with three strangers, which Perez says she did to block out the experience. While there, she received a text of Majors ending the relationship. I'm like, bye. Because if that's the perfect way to get out. Because if you're in a relationship that is implied as being abusive, if you go in a relationship, that's my way to just slither on out of there and move on to the next thing. It says she later returned to Mater's apartment and called him multiple times. Chowdhury alleges it was 32 before taking 2 sleeping pills. Perez said Majors returned to the apartment and saw the top door locked, called the handyman to unlock it, found Jabari on the floor and called 911. Perez alleges that because Majors manipulated her and trained her to stay silent, she was hesitant to tell police where her injuries came from. She was taken to the hospital and treated for her injuries. Now, in the opening statement, defense attorney Chowdhury described Majors as a father, a poet, a devoted practicing Christian, and an actor, while acknowledging that though the world may see him as a movie star, Mr. Majors is a normal person, flaws and all. In regards to conduct prior to March 25th, he alleges that Jabari had made these allegations to hurt him after the relationship ended. Now, in revenge, she made these false allegations to ruin John the Majors and to take away everything he has spent his whole life working for. I'm looking at this whole situation as, you know what? These were two people who had a hot, heated, passionate love affair because they met on this movie set. And, every relationship goes through its honeymoon phase. Then after that 3-month mark, because that's why I said that's the honeymoon phase. After the honeymoon mark, honeymoon period, the 3-month period, is when you start to see people true colors. They don't put the toilet seat down. They leave shit stains on the damn toilet seat. They like to fart and and all the other stuff, or they say some real crazy manipulative shit. Like, you start to really see people personalities. That's either you could put up with it or you shut it down in the beginning. Don't let it slide. So they both seemed like they were toxic for each other. They were in the car, they had went out, they were drinking. He was talking to another woman, flirting with another woman, gave her the number. Grace didn't like it, and then these two start fighting in the car because they had too much drink. And look, people really starting to show their true colors. Like, your whole guard is down when you've had alcohol and stuff in your system. I'm not sitting there trying to blame it on alcohol like Jamie Foxx, but I'm just saying, a lot of time when you're under the consummation of alcohol, things happen. Now, I'm hoping they could figure this whole thing out and work it out. Now, do I think this should affect his acting career because of an altercation he got with his girlfriend? There have been people who are in this business that have gotten away with far worse that are still working. So to me, on this situation, I don't think Jonathan Majors' career should be destroyed because of it. However, I have a strange feeling that that's what's going to happen if he doesn't get out of this. Now, once the whole thing settles, I don't know what's going to happen because he had the bodybuilder movie that was supposed to come out. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't understand. I don't really not understand, but I don't know what's going to happen with the future of um the Kang films or whatever, because I did hear that they're changing up some of the story. First of all, they really did not they didn't flesh out Kang, in my opinion, all that well. So I don't know what they're going to do with the character, what the future holds for him and stuff, but I hope that there's something that comes out of this, some good light. Now, Sailor Mermaid said, "I swear these colorists are hilarious. They don't want darker skinned women/men to get with light bright exoticals." It took me a minute to read that one. Only to make them someone they won't check. The black community, child, you ain't said nothing but a word. Because I do feel like that too. Like a lot of times, I feel like a lot of times when black men get in interracial relationships, not all, but some, y'all feel like that y'all can son a lot of these women because y'all can't get away with things that y'all can get away with black women. So, I'm gonna get these white women and I'm gonna date them and then treat them a certain type of way because they're gonna be demure, they're gonna listen to me, and I'm gonna make them more like Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. First of all, I don't know where you got in your mind that you thought Michelle Obama was all demure. Miss Mamas don't play. I have seen, I haven't read her memoir, but when she said certain things in interviews, I remember when she did the interview with, well, it was a bunch of women, like Kelly Rowland, I think Angie Martinez, a bunch of them. Michelle let you know, like, she don't play no games. So I don't know why you think, well, why he think that Michelle Obama walks into a room and she's very much like Jackie Onassis, where she's very like prim, proper, and demure. Yeah, she's that way aesthetically, but as far as her attitude goes, it's like, oh no, you're not gonna play her for a fool. Like, she don't give me that. So I don't know where Jonathan Majors in his mind. I'm like, why are all the Virgos that I'm noticing coming out to be dumb as hell? Like, a lot of us, we're supposed to be highly intelligent in our sign, but a lot of the things that y'all are exuding is stupidity. And he ain't the only one, because there was another Virgo. I cannot think of it right now. I'm like, you's a dumb. Oh, DJ Envy, that's another dummy. There's been certain things that he's been saying lately. Like, there was a recent um story that came out. I think what they were talking about Saucy Santana, because Saucy Santana said that he doesn't know if he wants to bring children in the world because he is like, especially if his child turns out to be gay, because of how he is and the ridicule that he has received from the world on how they treat gay people. So here this dumb motherfucker come out and say some shit. Talking about, oh, well, if a straight man or somebody would have said that, they'd be canceled. There'd be a problem. I said, first of all, if you supposed to be, Virgo, like I said, highly intelligent. Further, I'm September 2nd. This nigga is September 3rd. So he a day after me. I ain't older than him. He older than me. I'm younger than him. Trust and believe. I checked the age, the birth date, year, and all that stuff. He is way older than me. But anyway, so he went when he said that, and I'm glad Charlamagne spoke up and said so, because Charlamagne was the only one that, of course, as usual, makes sense. Like, he has matured a lot of ways. I know a lot of people say certain things about Charlamagne, but he was like, well, highly intelligent people, I think, will understand where he's coming from with that statement. Like, why he would say what he says. It's like, you have experienced going through those things, so you wouldn't want to have your child experience that. Now, if a straight guy says that, that's coming from a whole different, that's giving me Boosie. Bussy mad ass, as I like to call him. That's what that's giving me when someone like when someone like him comes out and says that. Is that if a straight guy, oh, I don't want my child to be gay. Because it's not coming from a place of, oh, you're scared of how the world is going to treat them and all other stuff. Now, if you would have said that in your conversation, that's different. If you would explain it that way. But when a father, a heterosexual male who has children, and one of them turns out to be gay, says something like that, where how he put it, that does give that whole situation of, oh, you don't want a gay child because you feel like he's going to embarrass you, or God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, whatever it is that y'all want to say to prove y'all point, or whatever, to spew your hate and your bigotry. So that's what I was coming from. But I like what Charlamagne said. It was like, well, anybody who is highly intelligent and is smart enough will understand where source is coming from, because he's experienced those things. You don't want your child to have to go through and suffer the same of what you've gone through as someone, because it's like being gay is like the old, I don't know why people act like sucking dick is like the worst thing you could do in the world. I know who told y'all that. But, but anyway, so to say, I will be following this case. I know I went on this little side tangent, but it did fall in with, the whole situation. But anyway, I said, let's say, I will definitely be following this case. Whatever the outcome, I'll definitely be talking about it. And I will definitely keep you all abreast of this story as it develops. So good luck to you, Jonathan Majors. The stunts is stunting. Like, I'm not buying it. I'm giving you the side eye with this whole situation. Like, I don't want you to have your whole career destroyed. But look, this is the bed you made. So now you got to lie in it, sir. And I don't care how many times you try to prod Miss Megan Good out there to make you look good. It ain't up to her. It's up to the courts to decide your fate. And then after that, we'll see how Hollywood decides to handle you. Because he's been dropped. Wasn't he dropped from his agency? We'll see if they pick him back up. Look, Mel Gibson's still working. I've seen him in a couple of straight to DVD or straight to Hulu movies. So, look, Mel Gibson out here still working after all the shit he did over the years. I don't see why Jonathan Majors can't work. Okay, speaking of, so now let's get to our last and final topic because we still talk about people in messy ass relationships or were in messy ass relationships. So the other day, Jeannie Mai appeared on, like, this whole thing with Jeannie and Jeezy have been going back and forth. Jeannie Mai appeared on Jennifer Hudson's show, and she had talked about how she was blindsided by the divorce when Jeezy had filed, that she had no idea that he was filing and how she was gutted and all the things. Well, Jeezy got on the line and called and said, and he called Cap for the whole situation. He said this is BS that she didn't know. Now, sources close to the couple tell TMZ that TMZ hip hop, because they got to differentiate themselves. They got their hip hop, bubble, and then they got the regular TMZ. I don't know why y'all separating, but whatever. And I don't like, first of all, I don't even like the fact that TMZ is covering hip hop news, because the way y'all be covering stuff, it always comes from a bias of racism with all this stuff, especially how you used to talk about Chris Brown and a bunch of other black people. But whatever. Harvey got to make his coin somehow, so he got to piggyback like the other one, the one from Vlad TV, DJ Vlad. Y'all like to piggyback on black culture to make a coin, so I guess we're gonna let Harvey do that, right? But anyway, so Jeannie Mai said that she was blindsided by the divorce, and he says it's absolutely false because the clear signs of the uncoupling, unconscious uncoupling, shout out to Gwyneth Paltrow for that, were long established and manifesting right before their eyes. We're told that the couple serially engaged in marriage counseling with multiple therapists before Jeezy came to the realization that the relationship was irretrievably broken. No matter who the professional was, it seemed like Jeezy walked away with the same answer. Clearly, it would appear he feels the writing was on the wall here, and that Jeannie's suggestion, this came out of nowhere, is disingenuous. Jeezy hadn't highlighted the exact reason for the split, but had maintained he felt in his gut that it was best to walk away since filing for divorce back in September. That Jeannie spoke of strength and putting up a hardened exterior to Jennifer Hudson on Monday, the same interview where she spoke on allegedly being ambushed by Jeezy's court filing. So if you actually want to, and then she also suggested, I should point this out because I forgot, that he might have cheated in their marriage in some form or fashion, which he basically said that that's not true either. Now, if you want to see the clip or the segment, y'all can go on YouTube, or you can actually go to my website because I posted it there. I don't know I don't want to risk it and show the clip on here because a lot of times when you post stuff, they do copyright and all that stuff, and then it affects the show. So I'm like, I just give you all the tea. If you want to see the episode or the segment where she talks about it, I'm sure you Google Schmoogle. You can look it up on the YouTube. It's there. So at this point, I just feel like these two need to cut ties and just move on. I know a lot of people still get up in Jeannie's ass because of certain things that she has said in the past, particularly about, getting with a black man. Like, people still haven't got off her neck about taking their foot off their neck about that, what she said. And then they have the child together. He's got multiple baby mothers. So now she's one of them once they get the official divorce. And it seems like he's already made his mind. What is he, a Taurus? They said that Virgos are compatible with Tauruses. I'm like, child, I don't know. But I said this to say, you know what? I just feel like just cut y'all ties, go y'all separate ways. She got her side, he got his side, and in the middle is the truth. And I guess we won't ever know. It's at this point with him saying that this is not true, and she come out and say her stuff, and then she goes and says what he says isn't true. We're never, I feel like, gonna know exactly what happened or what transpired. So all we can do is just allege, bring up the allegations and try to figure out what in there is the truth. And it's unfortunate, like, when another relationship has to depart because, they have their situation going, and now there's a kid involved, Monaco, which I think is such a cute name for a kid. it's unfortunate, like when you go through these things, and I don't know. I just feel like, just, you know what, you go your separate ways, she go her separate ways. Y'all, you keep your money, she keep her money, unless you'll break off some coin, and then, Jeannie, get back to work and do what you do, because, after the real, I haven't seen you doing anything, and I know Jeezy released a memoir, and I don't know if he's still doing music. So at this point, just cut y'all ties, work out what y'all need to work out for the sake of your child. Visitation, who gets her on, if he gets her, you get her how many days of the week, he gets her how many days of the week, and y'all work it out. And he Nick Cannon the situation, because he got multiple kids, not as much as Nick Cannon, but he work out his visitation. Now, I don't know how his relationship is with his prior baby mamas, and how he works out his, you know, the working out with the visitation and that whole situation, but just work out what I need to work out in the courts. Stay off the blogs, stay off the social medias, stop doing interviews, and because it's just getting messy. It just seems like it's a lot of people spilling on their tea. But then again, I need to stop asking y'all to stop spilling y'all tea, because then what the hell am I going to talk about? I do celebrity news and gossip, so we got to talk about these things on here. So it's like, while on one hand, the voyeur in me is like, y'all need to stop spilling y'all tea on social media. But then, my entertainment news gossip blogger, Wendy Williams channeling side, I'm nosy. So I need to know the tea. And so that way we talking about it and I give my opinions. But anyway, so I think that's all I got to say on that topic. And on that note, we are at the end of our show. So we had a lot of topics we talked about. This is about, I think, my first 90, almost 90-minute episode that I produced by myself. Yay! Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the current topics that I brought up on today's episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. Be sure, like I said it before, follow all my social media handles, which is in the description. It's also got the titles of the topics that we talked about. For those of you who did not watch the live stream, well, those of you who watched the live stream, I should say, thank you all for watching, and also participating in the comments that I was reading, throughout the topics that we brought up. Those of you who are going to be watching the episode after the live stream, you watch the playback, definitely leave your comments down below. Let me know what you love about the show, or the topics, to speak on those. Who are you actually rooting for on the upcoming season of RuPaul's Drag Race season 16? In the beginning, we did Meet the Queens. If you're just now coming in, let me know what you think about the queens that are going to be on the new season. And also let me know what you think about, some of the topics and stuff down below. I do read them all. I do respond. And your interaction definitely makes the show more exciting to do, especially when I'm doing the live streams. So thank you all for watching. Tune in next time for a brand new episode of Kris Avalon Unfiltered. And until next time, ciao, darlings.